Hi guys, and welcome back to Dice Down Gaming. A new video format for me today. I've called it Cracking the Combos. I'm going to pick a common unit or a common package, like say a solo with a few buffs and debuffs, or maybe a colossal with a buffs and debuffs. In this case, a unit with buffs and debuffs. I'm going to explain what you can sort of expect from that unit, how you can make it better, either through buffs on the unit or debuffs to your opponent's unit, and try and break down the package. Today I'm going to take a look at Marauder crew for the Brian Blood Marauders. They're a unit I know really well, so I've got a bit more confidence in delivering the content. And going forward, I'm going to pick some more units, some more solos from other factions, explain what you might combo with them. If you play the faction, what you might want to use with them, and if you are going to play against the faction, what you might see from them. A week ago now, I did a video, and inside that video was a giveaway for reaching 250 subscribers. You actually have to subscribe to my channel and like and comment on a video. It got 36 comments. They're not in chronological order, so I'm just going to generate a number from 1 to 36. I'm going to call this top comment number 1 and the bottom comment 36, and we'll see where we go. I've got a random generator number here. It's 1 to 36. It's not got a dark mode, sadly. Let's see what number we get. Number 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Raydrone 9139. I'll get in contact with you. Congratulations, you've won the 32mm premium insert from warmag.com. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for commenting and thank you for subscribing to me. I'll check you're subscribed before I get into contact. And if you are, congratulations. If not, I'll redraw it. My next target is 500. I'm kind of getting there a lot faster than I thought I might do. So a massive thank you for anyone who subscribed to me or engaged with my videos. This whole process is a big journey for me. I've not done anything like this before. I'm still really enjoying it, so I'm going to keep doing it while I'm really enjoying it. If you've got any ideas like content for me or videos you might want to see, please let me know in the comments, and I'll try and give you the content you guys want. With that out of the way, we'll have a go at this format. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take a look at the unit, in this case, the Marauder crew in isolation. Then I'm going to sort of go through and maybe give you an idea of what defensive buffs you can add to it, what offensive buffs, what attachments there are for the unit, and give you an idea of what you might see once you've got the package all together. So just on the card, they're pretty unassuming. They're 6 points for 5 guys. 5 guys with 5 wounds each and tough, which I think is a good starting point. We've got speed 6, mat 6, rat 5, defense 12, armor 13. So without any additional layers, we've got victim stats, death 12, armor 13 is low on both sides. And we've got speed 6, which is average for a human or troll. Maybe a bit faster for a troll. Some trolls are speed 5. The one rule they've got is gang. So if they attack a model, and that model is in melee range of another model in the Marauder crew unit, you get +2 to hit and +2 to damage. I find this quite easy to have in place when you're making your attacks. So you could say that most of the time your units will be mat 8, which is a very good number, and power 13 on their melee attack, which is middling. Not bad. It will clear off light infantry. You're going to need a bit more to damage the heavy armor. They've also got a range 8 pistol, which is power 12 at rat 5 base. Pretty unassuming. You need 7 to hit defense 12, which is the average and almost on the lower side of defense. And power 12 again, we're good at clearing out light infantry. You're not going to clear out anything heavy with your power 12. The unit has got 3 attachments, so really versatile in the way you can run them. The 3 separate attachments are: one is a bosun, 8 health boxes, defense 12, armor 16, a bit more armor than the rest of the unit. Has cleave, so if the bosun kills something in melee, it can make one more attack. Gang, so you could be mat 9 quite easily, and this pushes your power to power 15. So getting a bit higher, maybe if with a charge, start getting damage into higher armor. It grants the unit vengeance, which if a model is destroyed in the previous round, these guys in your I believe maintenance phase, yes, are going to be able to move 3 inches and make 1 additional melee attack. So it's going to give the unit a bit more output in terms of how many attacks you might make a round, because you might get attacks on your turn, and if your opponents trigger vengeance, you might get then additional attacks on your turn and then make their activation which could be good. And no quarter once per game. This is sort of like the signature ability for the bosun. It's going to give your unit +2 speed and pathfinder. So this extends your threat. So initially we were saying speed 6 with a 9-inch charge and 1-inch melee. So you've got a 10-inch threat, which I think is pretty reasonable. This gives you a 12-inch threat on one turn, which is again I think pretty good now, and that's not including vengeance. So if your opponent has killed, say you're on the approach, your opponent kills one model as you're drawing your lines, you're going to get a 3-inch vengeance move, and then if you use no quarter to make your total threat 12, you can then threaten from 15 inches away, which is I think really long. And sometimes people might not take into consideration vengeance when thinking about your threat, so you might catch some people off with some longer charges. Vengeance also I found really useful to actually move 3 inches in the maintenance phase to disengage a model, and then recharge it in your turn to get the boosted damage roll. So the bosun is a bit more of a melee orientated addition. We're 3 points for that, so we're 9 points for the unit. Vengeance is going to help you raise your attack, your volume of attacks, and Pathfinder is really good. There's not a loads of access in the faction. It itself is power 13, so gang power 15, as I said. If we start layering some buffs on that, we might get some good numbers. The second attachment is the Marauder Crew Quartermaster. This is 4 points, and this is going to raise the unit point to 10. This is 12-17, so again a higher armor than the unit, and 8 boxes. Has 2 mini feats, which are really great. Once per turn, the whole unit is going to get +3 range, including himself. He has gang himself, so his melee attack is going to go up, and power is going to go up. And then the powder stores once per game. Every other model in the unit, not him, gets +2 to damage and +2 to hit. So, if we were Mat 6, Rat 5 to begin with the Quartermaster, we're Mat 8 with Gang as a unit, and then we're Rat 7 if we use our once per game +2 to hit, +2 damage. Also, with the plus range, our pistols are now range 11 at Rat 7, and they're going to be power 14 at range 11 at Rat 7. So, the unit suddenly for one turn is a bit more of a credible range threat. You're probably going to be able to clear sort of like armor 16, 5-box infantry off pretty reliably. The Rat 7 means you're probably going to hit sort of the medium-based infantry. And the Quartermaster himself has got a really fantastic attack. He's got a spray, which he can fire 2 8-inch sprays at power 12, or can both barrel to 1 power 16 spray. This is affected by extended fire, so you could fire 1 power 11, range 11 power 16 spray. Quite good. Suddenly, if you're sort of armor 18, you might be getting some serious damage onto armor 18 with your power 16 spray. He makes the unit a bit more of a shooting threat. Really, they're only really going to be good at shooting for one turn, because once you lose a mini feat, you're down to Rat 5. But obviously, the unit itself is still going to be Mat 8, power 13 with Gang. It makes them quite a good dual threat of you could walk up, shoot, and then when you engage, you're still going to be high Mat, and we're going to raise that power above 13 with a few other rules. Last but not least, there's a Tapper. This is the cheapest option for Marauder Crew. This is 1 point. It's going to grind. He's Def 13, armor 14, so he's only a bit more resilient than the normal troopers. He gives them inspiration though. So with Gang and inspiration, suddenly our Mat 6 unit is Mat 9, which is really accurate. And we're going to be Rat 6 base. So with the Tapper, we're not going to get access to the Quartermaster, obviously. So we're only going to be Rat 6. So we're still going to struggle to get sort of 13 and 14 is going to be harder to hit unless we debuff them. Another thing it gives the unit is Stumbling Drunk. So the unit can't be knocked down. Really good on a unit that's tough. And whenever it's hit, you'll push D3 away. Stumbling Drunk, I can find can be useful. The no knockdown is great, but the fact that the push is optional can sometimes be a bit difficult. Your opponent can push you off a scenario by just hitting you, and if they don't kill you, you're still going to be pushed. But for 1 point, for +1 to hit, no knockdown, and really the best thing about him is once per game, your units get reposition. Really good. I think the Marauder Crew just by themselves for 6 points are okay. I think any of the attachment makes them pretty good. The Bosun and Quartermaster give you a direction. Your Bosun unit's going to want to use no quarter charge from far and then make most of vengeance. and your core, sorry, that's your bosun, and then your quartermaster is going to want you to sort of use extended fire and your black powder and get a good round of shooting in, and then you're still pretty good in melee at Mat 8, power 13. The tapper is nice and cheap, going to make you a bit more accurate in both your shooting and hitting always. Doesn't give you any more offensive power, does make you a bit more resilient with tough no knockdown, and the reposition once per game is great. I think 7 points from Marauder Crew with tapper is really good. I think 9 points or 10 points of either attachment, it's all really great. It just depends on sort of what direction you want to take your list and how you want to, what points you have available. The Marauder Crew are FA4, so you can run 4 of these guys. All the attachments are FA4. You could run 4 units with Quartermaster and have a really horrific turn of shooting. Could run 4 units of both and have a really army that threatens quite far and lots of vengeance on the table. You could have 4 with tappers for nice and cheap. You can mix and match. That is what the attachment and unit does, but I think we really, when we look into what we can apply debuff wires and buff wires, we really get into the meat of what makes them great. Let's look at like the offensive buff we can add to make these guys maybe a bit more accurate or hit a bit harder. There's 2 really key things in army that make them excel, I'd say. One is on our spell rack called Fury Strength. It's a spell that costs 2. It's got a range of 6. Target friendly faction warrior model as unit gains +2 to its melee attack damage roll for 1 turn. This is really great. So we start at Mat 6 power 11. We get Gang with Mat 8 with power 13. Suddenly we've got Fury Strength. So we're Mat 8 power 15. In the case of a tapper, we're Mat 9 power 15. So suddenly if we charge in armor 20 and we've got 3 dice, suddenly we're, rather than doing sort of like on average say 3 damage if we're power 13, we were doing 5 damage if we're power 15. Another offensive buff we can layer on is from the booty boss, who's got a great name. He's got all the booty. He's got a battle plan, which he can give a warrior unit called Stir the Blood, which is +2 to its next melee attack damage roll for this turn. So your model / unit, so we're going to put this on a Marauder Crew. We're going to get someone in gang range, and we're going to previously have applied Fury Strength. So we're going to be Mat 8, Mat 9 with a tapper. We're going to be power 11, +2 for gang, +2 for Fury Strength, +2 for Stellar Blood. Okay, so now we're power 17. So if we charge an armor 20 model, each of our Marauder Crew is going to do 7 damage on average to that model. If we've got 6 guys alive, it's hard to get all 6 in melee. Say we get 5 guys in melee, suddenly we're doing 35 damage. We're going to lift off a heavy, that's armor 20, with our Marauder Crew. That is pretty great. Those really are the 2 main offensive buffs, which are very easy to get. Madame Moriarty can cast Fury Strength for free, because she's got Spell Slave. You can have 2 booty bosses, so you can have 2 Stir the Bloods. Very easy to get 2 units to power 17. That's great. You're going to have the duality of your pistols, and you're going to be able to charge and be power 17. You're going to lift off most things that aren't skewing really extreme to high armor. Another sort of pseudo offensive buff, if you've got first mate Hargor Stormjaw, he's our 4-point character. He has got leader or veteran leader Marauder Crew. Within 10 inches of Stormjaw, your Marauder Crew get +2 to hit on attack rolls. So we're Mat 6, we're Mat 8 with gang, we're Mat 9 if we're near Stormjaw. If we're a tapper with a tapper unit, we're Mat 10. That is a wildly high number to be. You know, defense 14, 15, 16, even 17. On average, we're hitting them, which is really good. In case of a quartermaster unit, we begin at Rat 5. We can use our mini feat once per turn for +2 to hit. Sorry, once per game. Use a mini feat for +2 to hit once per game. And veteran leader. So suddenly we're Rat 8. Really accurate. Nice for the quartermaster who doesn't get the +2 to hit. He's going to be Rat 7. So those sprays, which are really, really good, are going to be that more accurate. So we can make the Marauder Crew really high power. Well, I'd say high power, power 17, maybe not really high, but that's enough when you charge. You're going to lift off most stuff. And we can make them really accurate. We can get to Mat 8 with gang, Mat 9 with a tapper, Mat 10 with Stormjaw near us. And then if we're shooting, we can get to Rat 8 with Stormjaw near us. That's great. We've got accurate hits and we've got high power. But how are we going to deliver the Marauder Crew to the table? As I said previously, defense 12, armor 13. That is not an attractive stat line. And most people are going to look at that and think, I'm going to lift those guys off. we've got a lot of ways to deliver Marauder Crew across the table. We're going to kick off with the booty boss as we're up here. He's got a couple things which can help us deliver Marauder Crew. We've got Sneak. If it's a friendly faction warrior model / unit, if that model is benefiting from concealment, they are going to get stealth. So if there's any forest on the table, any clouds, if you can get your Marauder Crew into like a dense fog, which is like a string of clouds, they can have stealth. Or if they can go to a forest, they can have stealth. Secondly, we have stand your ground, which gives you set defense. So you're going to be def 14 to charge attacks. Really nice to say on a quartermaster unit. You're going to walk up, shoot maybe their initial front line, so they can't walk into you. Then you're going to plot upon set defense. So you're suddenly your defense 14 when they charge you. There's other things such as warlocks, which do a great deal for Marauder Crew. We're going to look at Foul Blood. I'm currently running Foul Blood with 4 Marauder Crew and Bash Brothers, so a really dense infantry list. He's got a couple of things which are going to make them a bit more survivable. First of all, we've got open bar. You can have a 10-inch aura, so a 20-inch diameter circle of Stumbling Drunk. So no knockdown for a bunch of tough dudes. At the moment, I'm running 2 Marauder Crew Quartermasters in the bubble, and then 2 Marauder Crew of Tappers outside the bubble. So I've got 4 Stumbling Drunk units, and a Bash Brothers, and Stormjaw, and Boom Howler, and Madame Warrior. I've got 30 no knockdown tough guys. That will help you deliver them. He's also got Blur, so he can give a Marauder Crew +3 defense. So we're going to be defense 15, specifically against shooting. That's really great. Another Warlock, which is really great for Marauder Crew, is Boom Howler. Her feat is going to be +2 defense in the feat, so you're going to be defense 14. We could put a set defense on a couple of our units, so we defense 16 to charge attacks. We could have duck and cover as a card, so we defense 18 from shooting. There could be terrain that we're going to use to get extra defense. So Foul Blood and Boom Howler do a lot for the infantry. I mean, as a side note, Boom Howler's also got Storm Raider, which for one model can have +2 mat and arm and plus melee attack. So if we really want to get one Marauder Crew part of the unit, that +2 extra damage, we can do. Other defensive buffs, we've got Boom Howler. Boom Howler is a merc, but he's got a great rule called Shout It Out, which can apply Force Barrier to unit. So we can make a Marauder Crew unit defense 14 and blast resistant. Again, another way, a bit more resilient to shooting, a bit more resilient to blast. In the rack, we've got a really good spell called Rough Seas. This is sort of like if you ever play against a spell called Starcrossed, but better because it works for models in your control. When a friendly model in the spellcaster's control range is targeted with a ranged attack, the attacker model rolls an additional die on its attack roll, and it throws away the highest. So if you shoot a model in my control range, you're going to roll 3 dice, and you're going to throw away your highest dice. So in a moment with Foul Blood, I've got a unit with Blur, so I've got a defense 15 unit to shoot in. I've got a unit with Force Barrier. I've got a unit that's defense 14 to shoot in. I might have a stealth unit. I might have a unit with duck and cover, which is defense 16 to shoot in. There might be some terrain that I can use to get cover or concealment. Then I'm going to cast Rough Seas, and if you want to shoot my Marauder Crew, you're going to be 3d6 throwing away the highest. We've got some great ways to deliver the unit between set defense, feats, sneak, force barrier, duck and cover, terrain. And then when we deliver those units, we're going to buff them with Fury Strength. We're going to have Gang in effect. We are going to put Stir the Blood on the unit, and we're going to be really high power. Marauder Crew, for me, are a real staple of the Prime Blood faction. The amount of attachments we have means you can pretty much run them in any way you want. The amount of buffs we have for them mean we can make them hit way above their weight class. I've had a 7-point tapper unit lift off a character that's cost 16 points. So we can really trade up with our Marauder Crew. Their defense 12, armor 13 is a bit of a lie. We're going to make them a bit more harder to kill, and we're going to, when we look at the power, we're going to sort of make them hit a lot harder than it says on the tin. I hope that gives you an idea of what you might see if you're playing against Marauder Crew. You might see some Bosun units which are going to charge you from quite far downtown, and if you've triggered Vengeance, really far downtown. And you might see some units with Quartermasters. They're going to shoot you quite well, and maybe then force you to charge a set defense unit. Or you might see some tapper units, which are a bit of jack of all trades. They're going to be Mat 9 very easily, Rat 7 with Inspiration and behind Stormjaw, and they can hit equally as hard with the buffs we can apply to them. I'd love to know what you think about this format. I'd like to do some other things like a Tri Chimera and let you know how hard you can make that thing to kill. Maybe certain solos which are good in certain situations and what situations you can use them in. Certainly other units like Dreadguard Cavalry, those guys are great and there's loads of things you can do with them. Let me know what units you'd like me to cover. If there's a unit you think, wow, this unit's really good and I use it in this way, I'd love to explore that. Drop a comment in the thing. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what I'm doing, subscribe. I'm close to getting to well, not close, but I'm getting to 500, and that would be an amazing achievement. Yeah, thank you everyone, and I'll see you in the next one very soon.